When I came back to my cabin earlier than anyone expected, the HOA president had already called the cops claiming a gas leak emergency. And when the deputy showed up, I realized something far worse. There was a stranger inside my house using a copied key. That single moment flipped my safe haven into a stage for the ugliest kind of theater, the kind that only a power-hungry HOA queen could direct. And the nightmare hadn't even started yet. I should back up. My name's Nathan Lawson. I'm a surgeon who'd just spent 6 weeks working in a field hospital overseas. I came back to Pine Lake for one thing: quiet. My cabin isn't fancy, just logs, cedar. Smell a good roof tucked away near the water. I live for the silence. But the day I came home, Karen Phillips, president of our homeowners association, was standing on my lawn like she owned the place, talking into her phone with this shrill fake panic. She looked me dead in the eye while telling dispatch she'd spotted an intruder, me, the guy who pays the mortgage. When the deputy rolled up, she pointed at me like I was some criminal trespasser. I pulled out my ID, explained I owned the property, and even the deputy seemed embarrassed for her. Still, she didn't blink. She shifted gears, spun a new lie about a gas leak, an emergency inspection, how my place wasn't supposed to be occupied. Gas leak. My cabin doesn't even have a gas line. The whole story smelled worse than propane. I should have brushed it off. I wanted to. I was bone-tired hungry, just craving a shower. But my gut, same instinct that saved lives on operating tables, was screaming that something didn't line up. That night, I checked the footage from my door camera. My heart kicked harder as I watched a man in a gray jumpsuit carrying a toolbox pull a shiny new key out of his pocket, slide it into my lock, and walk right in like he owned the place. He didn't knock, didn't hesitate. And what he did next made my skin crawl. He crouched by the vent and slid a thin, black wire inside. He wasn't repairing anything. He was planting something. A bug. A camera. An invasion. I slammed my phone shut, every nerve in my body on fire. That wasn't just trespassing, it was a violation of everything this cabin meant to me. And the worst part? The video was from yesterday, which meant whoever had come in might still be inside. I grabbed the fireplace poker solid iron, heavier than it looked, and cleared the house one step at a time. Living room, kitchen, nothing. My breath was loud in my ears. Then I saw the attic panel, slightly ajar, shifted just enough to tell me someone had been up there. My chest went cold. I staged a little performance, loudly grabbed my keys, walked out like I was leaving, then crouched behind my truck. Minutes ticked by until I heard it and the attic panel scraping the back door creaking open. A wiry man in a hoodie bolted into the trees. I chased him down the trail to the dock lungs, burning branches cutting my face. He slipped on moss, I tackled him, and we hit the plank so hard the lake sprayed up around us. My jaw rattled from an elbow, but I locked my grip, dragged him down, pinned him. "Who sent you?" I demanded. His eyes flickered, terrified. "I was just supposed to run a wire," he stammered. And that's when the second deputy showed up, Martinez. Sharp eyes, calm voice, the kind of cop you trust instantly. She cuffed him, and I finally felt like maybe I wasn't losing my mind. But that night, staring at the red tag Karen had threatened me with, I hit a wall. She had People Truck's fake work orders, even keys to my house. Who was I kidding? I'm a surgeon, not a soldier. Maybe my brother was right. Maybe fighting an HOA monster wasn't worth it. I thought about selling, walking away, giving her what she wanted. For a few hours, I honestly believed I'd lost before I even started. But then, Martinez called. They'd searched the van. Found master keys to half the cabins around the lake. Fake work orders signed by Karen herself. Boxes of bugs. It wasn't just me she was targeting, it was everyone. That flipped something in me. This wasn't only about my peace and quiet anymore. This was about neighbors, about community. And damn it, I wasn't going to let her strip us all bare. The showdown came fast. At the next HOA meeting, Karen strutted to the podium in her cream-colored suit voice, smooth as silk. She painted her scheme as a safety initiative, claimed my run-in with the cops was just a misunderstanding. The room was full of my neighbors, folks who'd built their homes with their own hands, and they hung on her every word. I stood up. The whole place hushed. You didn't interrupt Karen. I held up one of the black devices from her van. "Can you tell us what this is?" I asked. She smiled, all fake confidence, and called it a moisture detector. I flicked on a receiver, spoke into the bug, and my voice blasted back through the speaker. The crowd erupted. It wasn't a moisture detector. It was a spy. Her mask cracked. She shouted, called me paranoid, even threatened to red tag my property on the spot. And the next morning, she followed through. A county inspector, one of her cronies, slapped a bright red sticker on my cabin declaring it uninhabitable because a dock bolt was loose. I checked it myself, solid as stone. But, in his smug voice, rules are rules. He left me standing in front of my sanctuary, branded unsafe like I was the intruder again. That moment broke me open. Anger, pure and cold, took over. She wasn't just harassing me, she was trying to erase me. Martinez and I hatched a plan. If Karen loved planting bugs, let her try one more time. I staged a scene at the hardware store, loudly buying the most expensive security system on the shelf, making sure the gossip line carried the news straight back to her. That night, Martinez's team slipped a real decoy detector into my cabin, one wired with hidden police surveillance. We waited. On the third night, headlights off a black sedan crept up my drive. 2 men in dark clothes slipped inside. In my earpiece, I heard them whisper, "Boss wants the detector swapped." That was all Martinez needed. Floodlights snapped on cruisers, roared in, and the men scattered. One dove through my living room window, only to be tackled outside by deputies. And as they were cuffed, one broke, he offered to deal. "Karen Phillips," he said. "She hired us." Finally, her name was on their lips, not just in my suspicions. Word spread fast. The illusion of her power cracked. But Karen didn't crawl away quietly. No, she tried to run. I watched from across the lake as she marched to her dock at dusk, briefcase in hand, desperate to untie her speedboat. Heels on wet wood, stupid choice. She slipped, slammed her arm against the dock, and tumbled into the black water. For a heartbeat, I thought I should just let fate handle it. But instinct won. I dove in, dragged her out, wrapped her in my jacket, pressed on her bleeding forehead. In her shock, shaking teeth chattering, she started muttering. I signed the checks. I hired them. It was just business. Every word was caught on Martinez's body cam as she ran down to help. By saving her life, I sealed her fate. That was the end. The Queen of Pine Lake crumbled in front of everyone, her empire exposed for what it really was, a racket of fear and greed. And the lesson, sometimes the quiet you fight for isn't just your own. It's the shield that protects everyone around you.